Our second one.
No.
This is so exciting. How's everybody been? How's your week's been? It's been a while since we spoke.
Yeah. Ours started with a giant blizzard, so we're just like over snow. It took us like all day Sunday to move snow, so we're just glad to be done with that.
How much did you end up getting?
2 feet.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
God bless you.
So you'd rather be at Disney now. Florida's looking really good right now.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was like such a heavy snow too. It was like so much fun.
Oh.
But Wally loved it, so we went snowshoeing and did all the things you do when it snows. It was fun.
That's pretty cool.
How much were you supposed to get? Were you supposed to get like way more?
We were saying like 3 to 5 feet, so we were happy with only getting 2. So it was better than what they were projecting. It's crazy.
I'm so excited to do this.
Yeah.
Yay.
It'll be a fun topic. This is a big topic. It's like one that we keep saying like, well, we should talk about this, we should talk about that. Okay, we're gonna have to like narrow the scope because we could talk about it for hours. So
yes.
Exactly.
It'll be an
It's
ongoing
gonna be like a multi-part series.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It is definitely. I think today we're going to do kind of like an overview of planning, like kind of the ins and outs of planning and what you need to kind of focus on and the general topics that you want to consider when planning.
Mhm.
But then in the next couple of episodes, I think we're going to do deep dives into, really the logistics of all of this. And so we have some planners in the group. We have some wingers in the group.
I love it. It was such a good balance. I love
everybody.
it. Yeah.
You have planners who end up winging it.
That's probably like more what I am. A planner who ends up or a winger that ends up a planner that ends up winning it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like I have to have like an itinerary. I have to have a piece of paper that has like a list of everything that that we can possibly do on that day, especially because when you have things that require reservations and now like you really have to plan. Like if you didn't plan Disney before, you really have to plan now. So, and I'll tell you guys like about our tragedy for our upcoming trip as to why I say that. Did we lose Amanda?
I know. I don't know what happened. Must have kicked her out.
Uh-oh. She's having an Jonathan moment.
Oh no. What happened? Sorry guys, I don't know what happened.
There's got to be one every time. There's got to be one every time.
We are tradition.
Yeah.
So I think like what we should start with is kind of introducing the topic for the week. I mean, it's in the thumbnail. Everybody could see that we're talking about planning your trip to Disney. But I think like for me, the number one reason why I feel like you do have to have some sort of a plan, or even before you even come up with your plan, like you really have to think about what kind of Disney trip do you want? Like, is this going to be a budget trip, a moderate trip, a luxury trip? Is it going to be a solo trip, a couples trip, a family trip? Are you going to have extended family? How many people? How big is your group? The bigger the group, the more you have to plan and coordinate.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, like how relaxed of a trip do you want to have too? That's something that we've kind of like recently taken into consideration. I think early days of going to Disney, it's always been go, go, go. But now we're like, well, let's try and plan a trip where we have some downtime and enjoy the resorts. And so that's a big factor too, is how much do you want to pack in and how many days are you going to be there?
So I think that also goes to like when you think about how often can you go, right? Because if you're going to the parks, like most of us, I feel like, especially pre-pandemic, we were probably going a little more regularly.
Yep.
And none of us, well, Amanda, you're in Florida.
Me? No, I'm in Massachusetts.
No, so none of us are really even in Florida, and we still go regularly.
Yes.
But for some people planning a trip to Disney, it's a once in a lifetime trip. Like, so they're really trying to pack it in. And if this is your once in a lifetime trip, you have to have a game plan.
Bless you.
Have every minute scheduled to the second, but you have to have a game plan. It's like you wouldn't go to the Super Bowl without a game plan, like, you gotta have a game plan if you're going to Disney, especially if it's like, this is the first time we're going, or the only time we're going for like however long it's going to be. So yeah, it's definitely an important topic.
My husband's on. He needs tips on how to get.
We don't have tips on that topic.
I don't know.
Well, he's usually the one that does it. And
That's what I was going to say. I don't know if I believe it's all Amanda. I think there's a Chris in that too.
It was like after our last live stream 2 weeks ago, that was when we booked our trip.
Yeah.
We decided to do it. We weren't going to go, but then we booked the trip for April. So I think that us just talking about it got him more excited about it. And we had to do it.
Chris says, I write out game plan and tear it up and eat it, and then we just do it. Yeah, that works
pretty much.
There's definitely a lot of truth to that, though. Like, a lot of planning is like kind of having things mapped out, but then like being willing to just go with it when you get there.
Yep.
Like, having a game plan in place is half the battle, I think.
Yeah, I feel like the more we've gone, we've evolved, like, over the years. Like, our first trip, we thought that was going to be our only trip, and we did, like, everything. We went crazy. And then after that, it was like, wait, we can slow down and explore and take our time and try new things. So,
well, then also, like, the first time you go, you don't know where anything is.
Yeah.
Like, so you spend a lot of time, if you don't have, like, a game plan in mind, you spend a lot of time just trying to find things.
And not realizing how big everything is. Like,
there's
so much to it. You don't realize it your first trip.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people see it like when they see the commercials and even when they're looking at it online and things like that, I think they think that it's like a normal amusement park. So they compare it to like, oh, it's just double the size of my local amusement park. And I think that's whenever like they get there and realize that it's like a city. Yeah. That's when they're like, oh my gosh, like what do we do?
Yeah, sure.
And it's hard when you're trying to go, because then you also have to factor in the fact that you're not just going to want to do things. You're going to want to see things. Mm-hmm. You're going to want to absorb things. And stopping to absorb something is a time crunch, right? Like, it's a time suck. It takes up time to do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Which could be a ride that you miss going on, but it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, and I think that's like you get so overwhelmed if you just go in thinking like, I can handle this. I'll just figure it out when I get there. And then it's like, oh my gosh, look at this, look at that. I want to go there. I want to do this. And like, you're just totally overwhelmed. You have to go in with some sort of a plan for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Tim says, I plan meticulously for every Disney trip. And then the dreaded unknown variables arise and everything I plan goes out the window. Yeah, pretty much. That was the story of my last Disney trip. We just went a couple of weeks ago. We had a game plan. That trip went nothing like planned. But it helped that we had a plan.
Right. I also think that people have to give themselves like a little bit of grace, like whenever they are planning the trip and they do think like, I want this, this, and this all to happen. If you throw in one child, let alone two children
or more,
that plan has to be flexible because your kid could be having a meltdown and you were, I mean, back when fast passes were available, like say you had a fast pass for Peter Pan and your child is having a meltdown, you just kind of got to go with it because kids, they don't go by plans.
They have their own agenda.
Yep. Yeah. But that's also when planning helps too, because you know your kids at home. And I think sometimes people forget that your kids don't change because you're on vacation.
Yeah.
They still need their nap at a certain time. They still need their meals at a certain time. There's some flexibility with older kids, but like with younger kids, you still have to remember, like, we're flexible as adults. We can adapt to the situation. We can get up and rope drop and, rope drop the fireworks and not eat anything but sugar throughout the day.
And go to the bathroom one time. Not every 5 minutes.
And the kids are like, wait, where's my breakfast? Where's my lunch? Where's my dinner? And
where's
parents
my
are like,
snack?
you don't need 3 meals. Let's go.
Yeah,
exactly.
I literally just saw 2 child meltdowns at the Polynesian resort. Exactly. Like and it happens. And I think the most important thing to remember in your planning is to have fun.
Yes.
Yep.
And if you miss a fast pass, it's okay.
Yeah.
If you know you're a couple minutes late to a dining reservation, it's okay.
We're always like pushing that. I've like tested how late can you be to dining? We are always those people. I'm like, we have time to do one more ride. We'll be fine.
And have you ever had an issue like being late?
We've
like,
never had an issue now. And I think that's the other thing is like not being afraid to ask either. Like, especially like if you do have a kid that's having a meltdown or something and you have a fast pass, like it's okay to go to the cast member and say like, we had this fast pass or we have this fast pass right now. My kid is like having a total meltdown. Is there anything you can do? And 99% of the time they're going to be able to help you out. So
yeah, as long as you are like nice and really
Right.
like
that's the big thing.
approach like really with kindness and not like demand it.
Exactly.
They're usually pretty good about it.
Yeah.
So Tim has a good question. How long do you find that your kids are able to go before hitting the meltdown wall on an average Disney day? It depends. It depends on so many factors. It depends on how much sleep she's had the night before. It depends on how happy she is. It depends on if she's asked for something and was told no. You know, that can change the whole trajectory of our day.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how many days you're into your trip too. Like I think if you're early on in the trip and they're still like excited, they kind of have that energy. But if you're in day 3 or 4 and they're like totally exhausted, then yeah, you're going to be having a lot more issues.
It also depends on the park. I noticed too, because my kids last longer at Magic Kingdom than they do at Epcot. Like they get so bored at Epcot. They're like mostly because me and Chris are like going around the world. We just want to try food and drinks, and they're like so not into that.
Yeah.
My kids have like no tolerance, and we're like 2 hours into Epcot, and they're like, "Okay, when are we going to Hollywood Studios or Magic Kingdom?"
Yeah, seen it all.
No.
Or like our problem in Epcot is we get to Germany and then Wally just wants to stay there all day and look at the trains. And I'm like, come on, let's go. Let me go to Germany. Let's go.
Yep, and Chris is the one that melts down.
Right.
Do for sure.
Katie says exactly. You go with the flow and have fun. I mean, ultimately, that's what you do. Like, but I feel like for me, having a plan helps me have fun.
Yeah.
Knowing that we have a 2:00, lunch reservation, that I don't have to worry about what we're going to eat at 2:00.
Yeah.
Because we know we're going here at 2 p.m. And I try to make our dining reservations kind of a little bit later than lunch because we're not so much breakfast people, but early enough so that 2 to 3 works well. It's not crowded. It's easy to get a reservation time. And we're usually full enough until that'll carry us until like later in the evening. So we don't have to like have a hard stop at like 6:00 for dinner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But it's also good to know like your family with that too. Like you're going to have a kid that like, if they don't eat at noon, they're going to have a total meltdown. Don't book a 2:00 reservation because you're just setting yourself up for failure, So it's like really being thoughtful of like, what's the meal that my kid normally eats and what time of day do they want a snack or do they need a thing, and having things with you too. That's a big part of planning is like having sunscreen and goldfish crackers and ponchos and those sorts of things too, so that you're not stopping wet and starving and hangry and all the things.
And spending $20 on a poncho, and
right.
Having your Mary Poppins bag ready. That's
Exactly.
The 99-cent ponchos from the Dollar Tree or Walmart work just as well as the $20 ones from Disney.
And then you can just throw them away, which is great. You don't have to lug around this wet $20 Mickey Mouse poncho because you paid way too much money for it.
Exactly.
So one of the things that we wanted to kind of touch base on for everybody who's watching is we want to give an overview of the topics that we're going to cover in detail over the next few episodes and in terms of planning. So I know for me, planning a trip to Disney, I'm always thinking about budget and how we're going to pay for this. So that's definitely a topic that we're going to touch on in more detail in a future episode. Irene, what are your kind of, when you're planning a trip, what are your topics that you like to consider?
I think like how many days, like what's the total length first day and what kind of a trip we want to have is a big one for us. Like if we want to have downtime or if we want to just have like a jam-packed go type trip. That's definitely a big consideration for me. And then like dining reservations and food. We have a lot of food allergies. So going to Disney for us is like really awesome because they have so many amazing food accommodations for dietary restrictions. So like booking all the dining is like probably the thing I look forward to the most. Like I look at all the pictures online and read all the things and want to have all those good dining reservations and snacks and things booked out. So that's a big one for me is dining for sure.
Before we move on to somebody else, I want to address Katie's
Yeah.
question.
That's a good question.
That's a good one. Obviously, everyone has a budget and can't buy their kid everything, but how do you tell your kid no and not ruin the magic?
Gift card.
You just do it. You just do it. But I guess I have always found having a cast member do it has always made it so much easier. My kid will listen to a Disney cast member way quicker. Like whatever the cast member says, that is the word, that is the law of the land. We are good with that. There is no issue. I can say the same thing in 20 different ways, and one cast member, like a princess, came up to Zola and was like, well, princesses don't yell and scream in public like that. And Zola's like, oh.
Well, I'm a princess. I won't do it either.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, mommy's saying it meant nothing. This is where it takes a village to raise your kids.
Yeah.
So,
it's in everybody's interest.
I think that that's actually a great point. I mean, I never actually even thought of that before, to like get the cast members to like be the one that says no. But before we leave every trip, my girls each get a gift card, and whatever they want to purchase, I don't care. But once that gift card is done, it's no, because you have no more money on your little card.
That's smart.
That's really smart.
And I'm like, the card dictates what your yes is. And once it's gone, it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
We always do like one thing like per park. So over the course of the trip. So if we're going to the park multiple days, that doesn't mean like each day, but like if we're in the park and there's something special you want, and then we just always let them know, like we can go in and look, but like maybe wait and look and see and make sure that's really the thing you want. So we'll kind of use that tactic, and that helps. If he knows he's going to get one thing, he can kind of wait a little bit.
So this is like, he's saying the opposite of how I am. I'm actually like the really like budget person. Like I don't ever want to spend money. I'm like really like cheap.
Chris projecting
spend money. Like, let's go to the little souvenir shops with the wizard on top and get the same thing. I don't know what he's doing. But that's what I do with my kids is I'll get them stuff beforehand for the trip.
Yeah,
they have like new stuff for the trip, new shirts and new ears. And then we let them buy like one thing, like one special thing on the trip, because we've just bought them all kinds of stuff for the trip. So
yeah.
On my last trip, we discovered the character warehouse.
I want to go there.
Game over.
Yeah.
That was a game changer because a lot of the things that Zoa wanted that was in the park, they actually had at the character warehouse for a fraction of the cost. And I just got it, and I was like, okay, we're going to put this in the stroller, because you kind of know your kids, right? You already know what they're going to ask for. I know she's going to ask for a bubble wand. I know she's going to ask for some kind of ears, or just, I know she's going to ask for something that is just ridiculous and I don't want to buy it at the park cost. I try to bring those things with us and put them in a stroller and hide them so she doesn't see them. So when she asks for them, like, okay, here you go, bam. And it magically appears. Or you have to kind of guide, if that's not exactly the thing that they want, you guide them to that thing. So that is the thing that they want. So when they get it, they're like, yes. And that helps if you're on a budget to actually have your own kind of outside of the park souvenirs that look like the park souvenirs. And you don't have to go to the character warehouse. I mean, once you're in Florida, you can get these things at Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens.
Well, and Shop Disney has deals on the bubble wands and stuff too. And I don't know if this is 100% true or not on bubble wands, but when we bought Wally's very first bubble wand, they told us like as long as they can sell it in the park, they would 100% replace it over and over again, no receipt needed. We've done it 3 times because we've broken them, and they continue to do it. But we went one time and the cast member was like, no, we totally can't do that. And I was like, we've done this 3 times. So I don't know if that's like, we've just gotten really lucky with cast members.
Yeah.
But
ours has been replaced twice. And
yeah, I mean, we bring it back with us every time, and then we just buy the bubbles from the dollar
I
store.
didn't know that.
And then glow sticks is another big one too. Like,
Yes.
we always bring glow sticks along,
We
and
do
that's like, so when they pull all the stuff out at night and it's all like lit up and exciting, then it's like, Mom's got glow sticks. They cost 99 cents. So
Yeah.
And they're like, depending on which ones you get, there can be up to 4 to 6 of them in one bag.
Right.
Definitely.
For $1.
And they have some really cool ones, and they have Disney ones, like, and it's way better to have like 10 $1 glow sticks than buy one $30 light up thing that needs batteries and probably is going to get broken.
We brought like 100 pack once, like on our first trip, and we went to Fantasmic, and we had like, we were like, and this is before Corona time, so we were like sharing them with everyone. We had all the kids in like our little row happy.
Yeah.
Such a simple thing.
Yep.
So Heather, what's your planning topic?
Oh gosh.
Well, I know. What's not your planning topic?
I was gonna say, like, I feel like I can't contribute a unbiased opinion to this because like that's my life. I'm like OCD, which is why I became like a travel agent. And my whole thing is you have to be pre-packed and prepared well ahead of time. I get anxiety when clients tell me that they are packing like the night before and they're texting me saying, do I need this, this, and this, and this? I will flat out tell you I have 2 of everything so that like there's a good 50% of when I get back from the trip, I just like throw the straightener back in for like it'll just go in the suitcase for the next trip. I have like 2 of everything. I have a specific brush and comb that just go like for vacation.
I need that.
I have like a checklist and I just go down it every single time. And even when I send clients, I will send them that checklist like legit a month out. And they're just like, oh my gosh, thanks for sending it so soon. And I internally panic, like, you should be packed, you're 30 days out.
So I'm the night before packer. I'm that person.
I can't do it.
I am that person that is packing. I'm that person who cannot go to sleep the night before a trip because I'm still packing until 3 a.m. and my flight's at 6.
Oh my gosh, my heart is like racing.
But I'm also that person where I don't need a lot of things, so it's not hard for me to pack. Like I don't need, I'm not Disney bounding every day. I don't have to have my outfits planned out. Like, I have on stretchy pants, comfy sneakers, and a Minnie Mouse t-shirt. And my attitude is, and this doesn't work for everybody because, you do have to have a budget. And I always go to Disney like I've lost my mind and forgot that I have bills at home. But my motto is always, well, if I forget it at home, I'll get it there. Or I've started leaving stuff. We have an owner's locker. And if you guys don't know what an owner's locker is, it's this service that has like they have these containers. They're not really lockers, but they're like these like travel containers, and they bring them to your resort, wherever you're staying, even if you're staying offsite, like even if you're not at Disney property, if you're at a surrounding hotel in the area, they will bring it to you. And so like we have like a lot of the things that we need, like sunscreen and lotion and all of the like the toiletries that we need, like we keep those things down in Florida in our owner's locker, like a puddle jumper for Zoelle because I always forget to pack that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, now I don't have to worry about packing a puddle jumper. Like I really just need to bring my clothes. I don't have to worry about toiletries. I don't have to worry about, the little baggies on the airplane, what needs to go in the check bag. I mean, I can literally go to Florida with a carry-on and have my owner's locker meet me at my hotel and we're good to go.
That's nice.
That's awesome. I never heard of that. But
we will definitely do a deep dive on that.
Yeah, I've heard about them before.
Florida more than 4 times a year for Disney or Universal or any of the theme parks in that area. You need an owner's locker. Wow. Ponchos stay in the owner's locker. Bathing suits stay in the owner's locker. Sunscreen stay in the owner's locker. Like all of the things that you just don't have to worry about packing, they stay in the owner's locker. and it just meets you at, and it just magically appears at your hotel. And when it's time for you to check out, you pack everything back, and they take, like, we even keep a popcorn bucket down there.
And
So
what's
we
the
don't worry
price on
about
that?
packing the popcorn bucket.
How much does that cost?
A lot of DVC members will do that too. Like we do, like we'll travel with, we'll bring like our own like cooking oil and salt and pepper and stuff, because those are things that like you don't want to buy it when you're
No.
down there, but it's super nice to have in a room when you have like a little kitchenette, and that would be great to just keep in an owner's locker and not have to bring that kind of stuff.
How much does that cost?
I have to double check the price, but it's not that expensive. It might be like, I don't want to give misinformation. On the next video, I will have the cost.
We'll have the official numbers.
I just renewed our membership though.
It's probably like a storage unit, I would think.
Yeah, and you get like I think there may be like a code. I'll find it, but I got like 6 months, either 6 months free or 6 months half price. So it was like really inexpensive.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I think that that's beneficial for like people like you and Irene who are DVC members, or like someone like me who's a pass holder, who we go more often than like the average person.
Yeah.
Like I know I go too much, but like, I mean, then it's beneficial, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
If you only go like once or twice a year, it's probably maybe I don't know. If you go twice a year and you stay like in a place where you have like a kitchen and stuff and you have things that you want, then it may actually be worth it. But if you're only going once, like you don't even need to worry about it. It's not something that makes sense.
Yeah. That'd be a fun video to do sometime. Like like multiple stay per year Disney versus like single stay. Yeah.
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 Tim says, do you feel that certain resorts, Tim, you have the good questions tonight.
Yeah.
Do you feel that certain resorts are worth a dedicated resort day, or is it just a couple minutes, hours, if and when you can spare the time and put in the real time at the parks? Oh no.
Oh. There are definitely some resorts that are full day.
Yes.
We've dedicated whole trips to just resort hopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then one that's standing out right now to me is Fort Wilderness Campground. We're actually thinking of doing a day there on our next trip because we're going to rent a golf cart.
Yeah.
Golf cart.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go eat barbecue.
Yep.
And we're going to go on the horses, and we're going to go, go look at the boats, go to the beach.
Yeah. I would say maybe the only resorts I wouldn't give like a full day to is maybe all-star resorts. Like even a lot of the moderates have great pools and good restaurants. So, and I think even like regardless, even if you're staying in a value resort, it's still nice to have a down day planned, because there's plenty to do. Like get up, like sleep in, go have some pool time, eat it, whatever food you have at your resort, or hop on a bus and go to downtown. You could spend like the whole afternoon, early evening or evening in Disney Springs and just have a day to kind of relax and refresh, because going to Disney is a lot of work. It's exhausting. There's a lot of walking. It's hot. It's humid. You know, you're go, go, go all the time. So it's nice to just have a day where you don't have the pressure of having to get up and go somewhere and just relax.
And nowadays it's even more exhausting because you have to wear a mask all day.
Exactly. Especially now. Yeah.
And you pay for it. Like you are paying for these amenities. Like you need to enjoy them, because if you're going to just go, I feel my personal opinion is if you're going to rope drop to fireworks and that works for you, don't waste your money on a Disney property.
Yeah.
Go stay off property at like a $99 to $150 a night hotel that's clean, bed bug free. And just some place where you can shower and sleep, because if that's what you're doing, I would not waste a dime on Disney property.
No.
Yeah.
If you want to like relax and enjoy your trip and take in all that Disney have to offer, you can do the parks. Like what we like to do is if we're going for like a week, we do like 2 days at the parks, back to back, a full day of rest at the resort. You can wake up when you want. We don't do dining reservations that day. You eat what you want. You go to, we go to the pool. We can just ride the monorail, ride the Skyliner, just resort hop, just walk around our resort. And then, and then we do a couple more days at the park and then another day of rest. And that's also a way, like you were asking about kids, how to help keep your kids in balance, because it's a lot.
Well, there's a lot of magic to a hotel to a kid. Like right now we're at the Gaylord Rockies here in Denver, and like Wally was so content today to just like be in the hotel room and watch TV. Same, like we can do the same thing at home, but there's something totally magical about like being in a hotel room. And like we literally sat and had wine and cheese and like had nice adult time, 5 feet away from him, and he was content for an hour and a half, like just so, and he kept saying like, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy here, so there's just like this magic of being somewhere different too. So even if you have little ones, embrace that, and they're going to like the novelty of being in a hotel room, and it's exciting. So take a day and just relax no matter where you're staying.
I will also say that if there's a pool, what child does not automatically say, when are we going back and going swimming?
Exactly. That's always.
Whether it's 7 a.m. or 11 p.m., they have that pool in the back of their mind. And it's like, never do.
That's what we did on a resort trip, because our first trip, the kids just want to go swimming the whole time. We're like, we're at Disney. Like, let's go to the parks.
Right.
They just want to go swimming.
Like, I'm over it. We were at the parks one day, and I think we had planned like a whole day, and she was like, okay, I'm done. Like, she literally was like, okay, I'm done. I've seen everything I wanted to see. I'm good. Like, let's go to the pool.
I'm so glad I'm with my kids.
And that's where it's a good.
And that's where you have to definitely give yourself flexibility.
Yes.
Because as a parent, you're thinking, oh, wait a minute. I spent all this money. And boy, these tickets were not cheap. We did not spend all this money on Disney tickets to come all the way down here to go sit in some hotel room. Like that goes through your mind. Like as the person who's writing the check, you're like, oh no, we gotta fit in everything we can. Your kids are just like, look, crazy.
And that's where like the variable cost too, like especially park days. Like once you do 3 or 4 day park ticket, it's really not that much more to do a 5 or 6 day. So you can do some half days in the park and just do that calculation in your brain and say, okay, like I paid for 6 days in the park, but I'm also only paying like such
$79 more.
Yeah. So it's like, so go into the park early in the morning or go in the evening and just do a half day and enjoy the resort and the pool too. I think that's huge. And it just gives yourself a little bit of a break too. It takes some of the stress off. So if your kid's like having one of those days, you're not trying to push through it because you're got to pack it all in and you pay for that part today.
Wonderful that part. And I will say that all of those activities that they have, whether you're staying all the way from All Stars or you're, chilling at the Poly, they always have those kids activities that are going on at the pool, and the kids love those. Yeah. And if there's one thing that I always tell clients is always factor in a pool day, but like also let them have the option to go back to the pool, because like Irene said, it's not costing you that much more to go from like a 5-day to a 7-day ticket. So just factor it in and just give yourself time to do it.
The best days are when you like do a park day and then you go back and do pool time. Like those are the days when I truly feel like I'm on vacation. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. Like
and they turn on those lights at the pool and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can still sit here for like 5 more hours.
It's the best. Like, it really feels like so relaxed and you feel like you've conquered the world because you're like, not only did I get up and go do parks, but we are enjoying the pool and this resort and it's awesome. Like best.
And that helps you avoid meltdowns. So
absolutely.
It helps you avoid meltdowns because now you're not, because once your kids get to that point, like I always say, like my kids dictate our trips. Like I can plan whatever I want, but I've had to, over the years, get it in my head that when they hit their limit, that is it. Because if you drag them along for the ride, because you just have to continue going for the next ride, or you have to get to your next fast pass, or you have to keep that dining reservation, or you have to meet that princess, it's going to be a problem.
It's not going to be enjoyable either.
Nobody's going to be happy. Not those families you see walking around dizzy like this.
Yep.
They're all like,
I always love when you see like the mom and dad like fighting with each other because they're just like irritated with each other, and you just see the kid that's like crying, and you know that the kid is the reason that those two are fighting.
I have to say though, even as an adult, like I have my day. Like that's like the joke in our family is like everybody gets one day on this trip to have like your crabby day. Like we joke about it, but it's true. Like even as an adult, like you get tired, you've done all this work and you've planned everything, and then like you're exhausted and you're hot and you're tired and you just want to sit down and have a cocktail and not think about it. And so I think like even as adults, we have our moments and we need to allow ourselves that time too.
Exactly. But it's true. And I try, and I know like I'm sitting here telling you guys like you can't do that because I know like how bad it is, but we're human and we do it. And it's like, this is why I say, you know, if it's a once in a lifetime trip, you really need to plan out what you want to do, but you also have to have that element of flexibility and know that you're not going to do everything on your list. You can plan out the perfect Disney day, but unless you're like on some VIP tour and you have somebody taking you from place to place to place and you never have to stand on a line, I don't care if you have a 1 o'clock fast pass. You know, you may or may not, you know, that fast pass line isn't guaranteed to not be an hour wait. So you definitely have to factor in like the flexibility when you're planning.
I always ask people like, give me your top 5 things. Like if there's 5 things that you must do, give me those top 5 things. And like, I will plan their trip to like guarantee that they have it. And I always say, as long as you get these top 5 things done, you did what you wanted to do on this trip. Everything past that is like a bonus that you got to do it.
Exactly. Yep. And I like to do that with our days too, where it's like, I just try to like, here's the 3 things we want to do today. Like we have this great lunch plan and we're going to ride these 1 or 2 rides. If we get to do anything else, that's awesome. But if we just do these things, then it's like you leave happy. And I think like giving yourself enough time, like I always over plan the amount of time for meals and over plan, like way overestimate the amount of time it's going to take to ride any ride, even with a fast pass, like just because you don't know, like you may get there at the very end of your window. And then if it's got a longer line than you're expecting, like I just want to give myself so much time. And then if it's like, whoa, like I have a whole extra hour, I can go ride 2 other rides. That's the best feeling. But if you're like have things so stacked that you're going to be frustrated, it's not going to be a good day no matter what, you know?
Yeah. So Amanda, what are your go-to planning topics? Like what must you plan?
I like planning where we're going to stay. We usually stay in an Airbnb, and I am obsessed with like going onto the Airbnb website and just scrolling through houses to find the perfect house. You know, I have to find the one that's like in the perfect location. It has to have at least 3 bedrooms, a private pool, a hot tub, a game room, an updated kitchen, and we usually get like the perfect house because we start, you know, scrolling through all the houses like ahead of time, and it just ends up working out so well for us because we get so much room. We can all, when we're having those meltdowns, we can all go to different rooms in the house, and you know, it's so fun to me to find that perfect house.
Hey Danielle, how are you?
Hi,
oh, and
hi, Danielle.
Ben, I saw you earlier. I'm so sorry. I don't want you to think we just ignored you. Ben from Life Joyfully Done is here as well.
Hey.
Yeah, I think the first time we went to Florida back in 2006, we actually got together with 2 other families and rented a private house. It was like, because a lot of people, when they rent Airbnbs in Orlando, they theme them. And this was like a themed house. Like, everything was like, they had a Mickey room, a princess room. Every room was themed to something different. We had a private pool with a little cage, so we didn't have to worry about mosquitoes and snakes and gators. And it was probably like $1,200 for the week. You know, split between 3 families. That was a nice deal.
There's an adult trip that we just actually booked. We're going to go down at the end of April, like me and some of the other agents, and there's like 14 of us, and we're all staying in a house, and it's one of those themed houses like where there's like a Harry Potter room, there's a Disney room, there's a Star Wars room, all that kind of stuff. You got the pool.
Are you going to sleep in the Star Wars room? Heather's definitely going to sleep in the Star Wars room.
Yeah. So fun fact, I have never seen a Star Wars movie in my life.
You know what? It's okay, Heather, because before last year when we went in 2019, I had never seen one either. I didn't see my first Star Wars movie until 2019.
Really? Oh, see,
it's crazy.
But it's not just Star Wars. I didn't see Toy Story until 2019.
Okay, I feel better. Well, it's like the ongoing joke still at the agency that like Heather doesn't know. And Irene, that was the first time that I met her back when she was an agent. And we went in, and who was it, Irene? I don't even remember who it was.
Was it like Kylo Ren?
Okay,
Chewbacca?
yeah. And I was like, he was like walking back and forth, and I was like, am I supposed to be afraid of him? Like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick. When are you going? That sounds so much fun. Yeah, Airbnbs are great. Like, Airbnbs are great. Which is why it's, like, nice if you're not DVC, you have that option. Because DVC, that's the reason I love, like, having the timeshare. Because for 2 or 3 nights, we can manage with no kitchen. But after that, like, my kids need food. Like, they don't need park food. They don't need restaurant food. They just need something simple that's a home-cooked meal. And we get that in when you have a kitchen. Like, that's usually the first thing we do is our travel day is like also kind of like our Walmart shopping day. Yes. Because I know they have services that will deliver, shop and deliver food for you. But I'm one of those people who I don't like paying service fees. I don't like paying delivery fees. Yes. I like picking out my own meat and my own produce. So I never trusted.
I did like for the first time at Target because it was free for like a month or something. I was like, this is so cool. This is awesome. They're going to deliver it to my house. And then I was like, wait, I have to tip them. And I'm like, I thought I like saved all this money. And so I'm like, nope, never doing that again. I'm like, I can get my own stuff.
I think what turned me off the last time we went to Florida, I think we were looking at like Instacart or one of those services. And when we were putting in our order, there were things that we were ordering from like CVS, like mouthwash and things like that we didn't pack in our bags because we wanted to travel with carry-ons, that I know were like marked up on the Instacart site. And like, wait a minute, if we go to Walmart, this mouthwash is going to cost us $3. Why is it $6.50? Like, and the idea, I'm like, I'm not paying for the convenience because you're also charging me a fee. So you're marking up the product and you're charging me a fee. So I have to go and get it myself.
Well, now, see, that's one more thing you have to add to your owner's locker.
Yes.
No, we've done an Airbnb a couple times and it is really nice. Like, it's nice to have a full house and have that. I mean, you have the added expense of either having a rental car or doing like Lyft or Uber. We've always just done a rental car because our little guy was still, baby and is still in a car seat. So I think that's the hardest thing with like Lyft and Uber. If you have a kid in a car seat, like it just is very unfeasible to me. We've done it a couple times where like we've flown with our own car seat and then put that car seat in to go to an airport. But even that just makes me feel like a little nervous. It's like somebody you've never met driving your child in a car. Like it's a little unnerving. So I think that's probably the biggest downside to doing like off property. But if you do a rental car, then it's really not a big deal.
Yeah, and we always try to either get a rental car if we don't drive for that very reason. It's just easier to get around. I mean, if it's not in your budget to get a rental car, then you but I don't know, like it just depends. Like if you're staying on property, because when this last trip we didn't get a rental car, but we stayed at the Poly and we used Disney transportation for everything. And I thought being having to rely on the bus because the monorail isn't running at Poly right now was the most awful thing, but it wasn't. And the only time we needed external transportation was when we went to the Character Warehouse. We took an Uber there, Uber back, and it was fine. But I agree because we travel, like I still travel with our own car seat, just because like I never know what you're getting in the rental car seat.
And they charge you like $30 a day.
Well, yeah,
And they
it's
charge you,
like 2 days.
Like, I would rather buy a car seat where I am and leave it there if I can't take it back with me for somebody else to be able to use than to use and pay for the car seats at the rental agency.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All those little
Sorry, I had like a sneezing fit, so I didn't want to be on camera.
Like Jen had a question: can you have Amazon delivered to your DVC or timeshare location? I believe so. You have to deliver to like the lobby, but they can deliver.
Yeah, you have to leave them, but they can do it, and that's what we've done most often when we've stayed without a rental car. Is we've just done an Amazon Prime delivery. You do have to you have to wait until you're in the general area as well. So like when we land at the airport, we place our order and then plan on being at the resort to receive it, but you absolutely can do an Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing that you can do, like if you're trying to save on fees and you do have a rental car, you don't mind driving, like a lot of the Walmarts, like the super Walmarts down there, you can pick it up. Yeah. So you don't have to actually do the shopping, so you can save the time on the shopping, but you save a little bit on the delivery fees by actually, picking up. But like I said, you guys have seen my shopping hauls. Like, we're not afraid to spend money. So that's why people always laugh at me. They're like, where do you pinch pennies? It's so hysterical because you will spend all this money on this thing. And then you're like, nope, I'm not paying an extra 50 cents for that. Nope, not doing it.
Hey, it's all what matters to you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has their things. Like, I'm totally that way too. Like, I'll pay for certain things, but then other things I'm like, nope, I will go through the extra effort it takes to do that myself.
We're all just saving for Disney. I'm always just like,
I mean, that's what we're really doing.
Because we're gonna go out to eat while we're at Disney, and it's way better.
Eat at home.
100%.
So I kind of wanted to run through, because I think we've all kind of touched on topics that we would plan for, and I think we also came up with a list of topics that we're gonna do deep dives into over the next coming episodes. We're probably gonna do 2 topics for each episode. So if you guys have topics that you want us to discuss in our planning videos, definitely let us know in the comments. But what we have coming up is we're gonna do a video on budgeting and paying for your Disney trip, your travel to Disney, how are you getting there? Are you driving? Are you flying? Are you taking a train? Where to stay? Are you staying on property? Are you going to stay off property? Planning your park days, planning your park days, planning your days at the resort, planning your days in Florida. Do you want to do things outside of the Disney bubble? Dining. Do you want to cook your own meals? Do you want to eat in restaurants the whole time? We're going to do transportation while you're at Disney. How do you get around if you don't have a car? And we're going to talk about packing. Have this favorite topic. You need to be packed 6 days in advance.
I'm already packed for April. I'm already done.
My mom actually already started packing for April.
Oh, good. I want your list. I want you to share your list with me.
Yes, I'll send it to you.
I have some stuff packed for our July trip already. I've started to put things into bags and
I have the t-shirts ready for that July trip.
Now I will say, when we cruise, I have my bags packed 3 months in advance.
Well, yeah, but cruising, you can't go to Walmart if you and they are going to charge you $25 for that mouthwash that you forgot.
Exactly. Exactly. And then the other thing we want to cover are what we call Disney extras. So things like the owner's locker, tables in Wonderland, minivans, if they ever come back, all the other little things that are available that are extras that a lot of people don't even know about. Right. A lot of people didn't know about the owner's locker. Yeah. And I love my Tables in Wonderland card. If you guys don't know what Tables in Wonderland is, it gets you basically 20% discount off of food for up to 10 people, including alcohol. Yes, it's basically just 2% discount once you factor in the 18% gratuity, but it's actually a 2% discount versus the 10% that you pay, that you get on the pass holder or DVC discount that doesn't include alcohol, that is limited to only a few people, and basically just barely covers tax. Yeah. So Mel, I think it's
cool to share too, how we all plan itineraries too, because I think everybody uses such different kind of planning and itinerary tools. It'd be a fun one to share.
Yeah. So we're going to do deep dives into all of those topics. So tonight we just kind of ran through them and into the concepts. But we're going to really kind of go into like how to plan and for every budget, because you have like, we want you guys to know like how to plan a trip if you are on a shoestring budget, because you can't do Disney on a shoestring budget.
Yep.
And you can't do it like you don't have a budget. You're just balling out of control.
I want to go on one of those trips.
Yeah. That's
So
a great
Mel,
question, though, Mel.
Yeah.
It's
like
the
this
one
one.
item you must always have with you when you go to the parks. The first thing you pack for your day at Disney.
Ears.
Yeah, yours is a good one. I think for us it's a portable charger, because we
I
always
was gonna say,
have
it's the
phones,
charger.
and fans, and cameras, and all the things. So
Yep.
I think portable charger,
Free vlogging days,
Water.
free vlogging days,
water. Yeah.
snacks. That's our must do is snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Disney snacks are fun. You know, getting pretty food for Instagram is fun.
Yeah.
But some of those snacks just really aren't that great. Like, let's just keep it real. Some of those snacks
And there's so much sugar.
Some of them are overrated.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of like some that people go nuts about. Like,
Yeah.
I just think they like it
Sometimes you
because
just
of the
need a
whole
pack of
status.
peanuts, right?
What's
Like
that?
I said sometimes you just need like a pack of peanuts and some raisins
Correct.
to get you to the line.
You don't
Like, if
need a
you're
$10
line.
schedule.
Well, like that's one thing I don't like want to pay for is like bottled water. Like we always get bottled water from like either a delivery service or something. 'Cause I don't want to pay the premium. Like people that get the dining plan and use snack credits for bottled water, I'm like, what
Blows my mind.
doing?
Blows my mind.
Right?
Easy.
So I think bottled water is definitely one of those things that I
And
want.
their tap water is pretty good. We get the the fountain water.
Yep.
And
Water's
I
always
always
free, people.
bottles of Mio, because
Yeah.
if you don't like the tap water, if you just
Yep.
put a couple of
Put it
little
in.
spurts of
Yeah.
it makes the water taste fine.
Mhm.
Oh, and Ziploc bags. That's my other must pack. I always bring Ziploc bags with us into the parks because you just never know, like when you go to a meal, if your kid's going to have like something left over, or if you like spill like the goldfish crackers in the bag and you need to just like put them in a Ziploc or whatever. I always have Ziploc bags with us. Like they have come in handy more times than not. That's like our go-to.
It's a good one. Baby wipes.
Baby wipes.
Yeah, I was gonna say at this point, going to Disney, like you have to have your little portable hand sanitizer thing hanging on your backpack.
Yeah.
It's like a must-have now.
Yeah.
Which
But
was
now hand
different.
sanitizer's everywhere. So it's like you don't have to do too much.
Free ice water. That's the way to go.
Yep. And the thing is, like for planning too, like I didn't know this like until right now. If you're planning on going to Disney in the next few months while we're still in the middle of the pandemic, please remember that there are limits on park reservations if you're not staying on Disney property. So when we went the last trip, we were staying at the Poly. So we were able to book a park reservation for every day for our whole entire trip. This time we're staying off property. And even though we're pass holders, you get to have 3 park reservations at one time. I didn't know that because I was like, okay, because I wanted to go. We're actually doing Universal for the first half of the trip. So it was fine. And it was lucky that we're doing that. So it was fine. Like we didn't need park reservations for the whole trip. But I wanted to go to Magic Kingdom the day I got there because I didn't get Bing Bong the last time I was there. And I'm like, I need to go as soon as I get to Florida to go to Magic Kingdom to get this stuffy animal. And I was like, I just wanted to make a park reservation to run to Magic Kingdom. And they were like, you've exceeded your park limit. I was like, wait,
No.
I have an annual pass. And they were like, nope.
Mhm.
Unless you're staying on property, nope.
There's a great comment on gum too.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking with Melly May, like if you are a gum chewer, bring your own gum because yes,
Yes.
they do not sell gum anywhere on Disney property.
Nope.
That's a definite pro tip.
Longest username. Hi,
Yes,
Russian Disney. Welcome.
So yeah, so that we're definitely going to cover up some topics, and we have a few minutes. So before we go, I wanted to remind everybody, everyone who participated in the chat tonight will get an extra entry in the giveaway.
Yay.
So we still have that going on. April 1st is the giveaway announcement. And the last time we were here, I didn't have this. I really don't want to take it out the plastic, but I do want to show you guys. So sorry for the noise. But she came, and she's a beauty.
I like the noise. Like ASMR.
And I will wrap her back up for you. But I actually wanted to see her in person too.
Oh,
she is gorgeous.
Oh, wow. Look how pretty.
Beautiful.
So pretty.
It's really pretty. I love the shimmer.
Is it silver?
Yes. And look at her zip pull. It's the rose.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty.
And the handles are gold.
Wow.
Good one.
And yeah, and it has the side pockets.
Those are clutch. I love those side pockets. You need them.
And I'm trying to remember everything you do, Danielle, when you show the bags, bro.
I feel like I'm watching like an unboxing of like a Louis Vuitton. I'm like so into this.
Oh my goodness! I didn't
You got
even know about
Easter egg. Yeah, show the Easter egg.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's
Is it?
pretty. I like that.
Gorgeous.
Is it just Belle, like with her
I
dress?
think it's some dancing, right?
It's Belle and Beast dancing right
Aww.
there, and then it's just like little designs.
So pretty.
Now I think we should do like bags. Like we should just be like, look. That was fantastic.
Yeah. We can all show our bags. I have to create it.
Yep, and let's see. Does this one have an inner pocket? Oh gosh. Yes.
This is fascinating to me.
Never mind. The bag is no longer in the giveaway.
Yeah.
She's keeping it. Sorry, everybody. She's keeping it.
There is a pocket with a zipper on the inside.
Listen, I watched those bag videos, so I'm totally into this right now, Jonica.
Yeah.
Now I need you to tell me how much you can fit in that bag.
I know, it looks pretty big.
Does it
Phone
hold
fits in there. Phone fits in the inside zipper. Well, if you want to see how much can fit in a bag, check out Mickey's Girls videos.
Yes.
Because I'm still trying to figure out how she gets all that stuff in her
I know. Like use it for her like on the plane. As her carry-on.
It is so pretty. Oh
So
my goodness. That is
It looks pretty spacious.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty.
It reminds me of the bag I'm craving right now, the Cinderella, the pink dress one.
That's
Mhm.
I love that one.
I have
I
one
get it.
lounge fly that still like haunts me. I wish I had gotten the original Pumpkin Mickey lounge fly.
Oh, they don't sell it
That's the
anymore.
one I like. It's the one that got away. I like looked at it 10 times and I was like, you do not need a Pumpkin Mickey bag. You're only going to use it for like 2 months of the year. You do not need that. I need it. I need
but you
it.
can use
Now
it
they're like $300 on stupid eBay.
Look, if you only buy things you need, then you won't buy anything. Like, do we really need to go to Disney World? Do we really need
Yes.
a Mickey pretzel?
I could go without the Mickey pretzel, but I gotta go to Disney.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not just this bag, though. Remember, it's the
Yes.
bag, it's the Jim Shore, it's
Yep.
the Belle ears that Amanda's holding,
Yeah.
and then it's the mug, the Belle mug, and was it the ornament?
Yeah,
The
it sings.
singing ornament that I'm kicking myself for not getting when I was there.
And if you go over to our Instagrams, all of our Instagrams, there's a post with each of the items, and you can get a bonus entry there. So that's the best way to see them all.
I'll reshare it so that it can kind of bump up to the top of Instagram.
Yeah.
So exciting. This is so much fun, everybody.
I
Thank you so much
know.
for hanging out with us tonight. We need
Yeah.
to come up with like a Mama Mouse Club sign off. We don't have
Yeah,
one.
outro.
Oh yeah, we talked
For a
about it.
sign-off.
I know we talked about it, but I don't remember what we said. said we were doing something with like the Mickey Mouse Club, like.
Yeah. Okay. We're not even entertaining.
Don't even, he's just trolling the comments.
We need to go to Disney.
So
All
we're
right,
going to
guys.
announce the winner on our next live stream.
Yes. April.
Yes.
We're gonna do it at the beginning or the end or the middle. Who knows?
It'll be a surprise. You'll have to
It'll
tune
be
in.
a surprise.
And that'll be on my channel.
Yes,
Next
it'll be
time.
over on Amanda's channel, Magic for Four.
My first live stream. I'm so nervous.
I'm just excited I made it through the night.
You did
We're
awesome.
predicting a storm without internet issues. So good job, Somerville.
I'm on hotel internet, so I was not sure what to expect. I'm like, let's see if this works. But I paid the $6.99 for the premium streaming for the night. So all for you guys.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I would say. Like, if you need a working vacation, like I often have to take working vacations. Disney resorts and their internet.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
a whole nother video. That's a whole nother video.
For sure.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, this is so fun.
Yeah,
Mama
we'll see
Mouse
you guys
Club
next
is
week.
signing off.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.